Hey guys, it's EzraTime, and today I want to talk about Fnaf once again, but more specifically, this argument about is Fnaf has fallen. Because I feel like some people might say that Fnaf has fallen, like it wasn't as scary anymore and wasn't as interesting as before. However, some might say, otherwise. And I want to provide my own argument today. So hopefully, my argument kind of makes sense, and I kind of want to ask your guys' opinions about it. Yeah, but before we start, we're going back to the past first, obviously. So FNAF started way back in 2014, obviously, when the first game was released, and everybody was enjoying it, and it's really booming at the time, right? And after that, obviously, shortly after that, FNAF 2 came out, not long after it, which is more stressful. Like the gameplay was more stressful than fun, unlike the first one. The first one is more scary, right? Second one is more stressful. And the third one is probably the least favorite one on the trilogy. I would say the original trilogy because that's how I kind of view it, to be honest. With the story. But I would say there is some closure to the story. Especially in FNAF 3 when you get the good ending, right? And then FNAF 4 came out, and that's basically become the catalyst for what FNAF has become today. In terms of story, right? Because to this day we still go back and discover the mystery in FNAF 4. Like hell, MatPat even keep going back to FNAF 4 and obviously still finding some answer for it. It's insane. And after FNAF 4 is basically where FNAF started to change, which is for, I guess you could say, for the better, because you can create the same game over and over and over again because people will get bored. Some people might get bored if FNAF just like sitting around and then getting jump scared. However, there is this arguments, this is where the arguments start, where some people think that FNAF become less scarier and start to pander towards kids. And I think the original lore got retcon, right? I think in the FNAF Help Wanted, right? And it's just become this bizarre storyline, and it wasn't as interesting anymore. And honestly, I kinda agree with these people who said that FNAF wasn't scary anymore. But let me say this, at least Scott Cotton doesn't make doesn't make FNAF for kids in the first place. Like FNAF was just made because he just have this idea. Like it wasn't sorry, specifically made for kids, and that came after the game become more popular, and obviously the majority of the fan base or the fandom are kids, and that's why FNAF started to change, right, in terms of tone, I guess you could say. One of the biggest example for this is actually FNAF Security Breach. Like I don't know about you guys, but that game wasn't scary at all, in my opinion. And I don't think it was designed to be a scary game. I think it was designed to be a more adventure type of game, to be honest. But I still think FNAF Security Breach is kinda a mess, because the story wasn't linear enough, in my opinion. And the answer is, and to answer the question that is FNAF has fallen. Well, for me, the answer there is two. I think yes and no. Yes, because I do agree with that this game FNAF become less scary and the lore was just like super bizarre. Like it wasn't like the previous guy from the previous FNAF game, obviously about purple guy, missing children, spirits. Like it wasn't, sure it was supernatural, but it wasn't exactly off the book. Like you still kind of find it believable. And it was interesting to follow. It was interesting to theorize, and to discuss. However, after FNAF 4, and now with Help Wanted, VR Help Wanted, and the books, the lore become way more difficult to follow, and it's just like, yeah, it wasn't as interesting. But I also said no, because again, yes and no. I also said no because I feel like Scott has a sense of direction to where the story is going, and at least I hope he is. And I feel the changes happens because of circumstances. It wasn't like FNAF wasn't meant for children. Again, it just happened because many kids are loving it. So I guess it's kind of like natural for Scott, and then Stillwell Studio to just start making this game more like adventures, yeah, adventures, driven than horror driven. More, um, is it a good? is it like a good decision to make it like an adventurous driven FNAF game? Well, I would say no, because I feel like they kind of like again taking away the important element of FNAF, which is that it was the horror of it, and I think that's why some people online start to use like this argument that, oh yeah, FNAF are made for kids, like it is the fandom full of kids, kind of mocking it in some way, to say that. But at the same time, I guess they're not wrong. I mean, that's what happens, right? It's a weird situation with FNAF right now. Like when a new game was announced, like everyone was hyped. I was excited, obviously, but I think the game won't be as good, like Security Breach. If the studio hasn't learned from Security Breach, mistake, like creating a bunch of a bunch of different areas, but you never really do anything with it. You just go inside and then you get some collectibles and then that's it. And the story that wasn't linear enough, so as the player you kind of confused. I know that's the whole point, but I feel like linear is important to FNAF in my opinion. But yeah, so again, the answer is yes and no in my opinion. No, because I still think that I kind of hopeful because there is some sort of direction going on, and I think if they were really listening to the criticism, then I think still will make the future FNAF games scarier. Because people complained that FNAF Security Breach wasn't scary, which is yeah, it wasn't scary at all. It was like adventurous game, and I think the fact that the kids become the big part of the fandom, then yeah, I think obviously that has some effect, and I really hope they listen to the criticism, and I really hope that they can make the game more linear in the future, and then introduce some more horror elements, because VR Help Wanted, it was scary because it was in VR, right? And then some of the level are scary, but Security Breach is just not scary at all. So hopefully the next game can be scary, in my opinion. But yeah, I guess you could say that's my argument. I'm sorry if it wasn't like contained and it wasn't like clear enough. I'm really sorry for that, guys. This is my first time trying to present an argument, I guess. So I apologize if some of you didn't understand it, but hopefully you guys understand my argument, and yeah, and I guess what do you guys think about this topic right here? Is FNAF has fallen? Like some people might say, like, do you guys agree with that statement, or do you think FNAF is still like, it was still fun, it was still good, like it doesn't need any fixing or something like that? Comments below. I want to hear your opinions about it, and yeah, that's it for the video. Stay tuned for more videos. Obviously, I don't know what is it gonna be. Is it gonna be another anime review video or something else? I don't know, but we'll see. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Share the videos, the usual stuff. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next video then. Bye.